Before his death, the name Lucas Boom echoed across Amsterdam's underworld. He wasn't the biggest drug boss, but everyone knew. If Lucas showed up, something serious was about to happen. He was a collector, an enforcer, and a man people didn't cross. Lucas grew up in Amsterdam, surrounded by crime from a young age. His family wasn't rich. He learned early that in the Netherlands, power came through money and fear, not education. By his teenage years, he was already hanging around small-time criminals. He started with minor robberies, shops, cars, and warehouses. But he was smart. He didn't steal to survive. He stole to learn. He studied how the big players worked, watching how Gwenette Martha and Benouf A built their networks. In the early 2000s, Lucas joined one of the criminal crews involved in drug trafficking and extortion. His tall, intimidating figure and explosive temper made him the perfect man for dangerous jobs. Everyone said, "Lucas doesn't talk much, but when he moves, people listen." Lucas's big break came when he met Gwenette Martha, one of Amsterdam's most feared gang leaders. Gwenette saw potential in him, a man who could get things done without hesitation. Soon, Lucas became his right-hand man, dealing with debt collections and rival threats. Working for Gwenette wasn't easy. It meant loyalty or death. Lucas proved his loyalty many times, taking part in violent confrontations with rival groups. He built a reputation as someone who could be trusted and feared. By 2010, Lucas wasn't just an enforcer. He was part of the logistics behind the cocaine business coming into the Netherlands through the port of Rotterdam. He made sure money flowed and debts were paid, one way or another. As Dutch-Moroccan gangs like Benouf A's group and Nafel F's men started fighting over cocaine routes, the city became a war zone. Lucas, loyal to Gwenette Martha, found himself pulled into the center of it all. Cars exploded. Gunmen appeared at nightclubs. No one was safe anymore. The once hidden underworld became open warfare, and Lucas was one of its soldiers. He survived ambushes that killed many of his friends. In 2014, tragedy struck. Gwenette Martha was assassinated outside a gym in Amsterdam. It was a turning point. Lucas lost his mentor, his protector, and his guide. Everyone knew Gwenette's death would bring revenge, and Lucas was determined to make it happen. After Gwenette's murder, Lucas reportedly swore to hunt down those responsible. He believed that Benouf A and his allies were behind it. The streets whispered that Lucas was building his own revenge list. But revenge made him a target. Other gangs feared Lucas's growing reputation. He was fearless, unpredictable, and ruthless, the kind of man who couldn't be controlled. And in the underworld, that's dangerous. It's believed that Ridouan Taghi, the man who later became the most powerful criminal in the Netherlands, saw Lucas as both a potential ally and a threat. Taghi preferred organized killers, not emotional ones. Lucas, on the other hand, followed loyalty, not money. Lucas began working with multiple factions, Taghi's people, old allies of Gwenette, and even smaller crews involved in cocaine smuggling. He tried to balance everyone, but playing both sides in the Macro War was like walking on a minefield. The Netherlands had become a gateway for South American cocaine. Billions were moving through Rotterdam and Antwerp. Lucas helped transport and protect these shipments. He wasn't the brains, but he was the muscle that made things possible. Police files described him as extremely violent and unpredictable. Some said he once attacked a man in broad daylight just to make an example. Others said he would walk calmly into a cafe, greet everyone, and later beat someone to death in an alley. Despite his brutality, even enemies respected him. He wasn't a coward or a snitch. He lived by the old criminal code, never betray your brothers no matter the cost. That made him rare in a world filled with backstabbers. By 2015, Lucas's name was on multiple police lists. They knew he was connected to shootings, drug deals, and extortion. But he was careful. He used disposable phones, fake names, and loyal drivers. Rumors spread that Lucas had become too powerful and too independent. Some said he refused to take orders from Taghi's network. Others claimed he was preparing to start his own faction, made up of Gwenette's old loyalists. The day before his murder, Lucas was seen driving through Amsterdam's east side. Witnesses said he looked calm, dressed in black, with his usual gold chain and cap. No one knew it would be his last day alive. That morning, around 10:30 a.m., Lucas parked his black car on the street of Zaandam, a quiet area outside Amsterdam. He was on his way to meet someone, but that meeting never happened. As he stepped out of his car, a van pulled up beside him. Masked men armed with automatic rifles opened fire. The sound echoed through the neighborhood. Lucas tried to run, but bullets tore through him. He collapsed instantly. Witnesses screamed. Some ran for cover. Others filmed from windows. It was a warlike scene, right in the middle of a peaceful Dutch suburb. By the time police arrived, Lucas was already dead. The gunman sped away, leaving the van burning a few streets away. A signature tactic used by Taghi's killers. It was fast, professional, and terrifyingly efficient. The hit was clearly ordered by powerful people. News spread instantly. Lucas Boom, the man everyone feared, was gone. To the police, it was another victory. To the underworld, it was a warning. No one was untouchable anymore. Many of Gwenette's old followers felt his death deeply. Lucas had been the last symbol of Gwenette's crew. With him gone, the old Amsterdam gangs finally collapsed under Taghi's control. Investigators quickly linked his murder to Ridwan Taghi's organization, especially men like Saeed Razouki and Naufal F. They believed Lucas's independence had made him an obstacle, so he was removed. Lucas represented the old-school criminal world: loyalty, silence, brotherhood. But the new generation, led by people like Taghi, believed only in money and fear. His death marked the end of an era. Newspapers described him as a career criminal, but those who knew him said he was also a man with his own sense of honor. He avoided harming innocents. He respected his word, something rare among modern gangsters. His funeral drew attention. Dozens of police officers surrounded the cemetery, watching faces, taking photos. Many in the underworld attended silently, paying their last respects to a man who had once protected them. After Lucas's death, several minor shootings occurred. It was rumored that some of his friends tried to retaliate against Taghi's people, but they were quickly eliminated or went into hiding. With Lucas gone, the balance shifted. Ridwan Taghi's empire grew stronger, swallowing smaller groups. There was no one left to challenge his rise, at least not for a while. Years later, people in the Dutch criminal scene still mention Lucas with respect. They say, he wasn't the richest, but he was real. He stood by his people even when it cost him everything. Investigators continued to find traces of Lucas in old files, messages, money transfers, meetings that hinted at bigger operations. Even in death, he remained a mystery wrapped in violence. The same guns used to kill Lucas were later linked to other assassinations, including those of Ronald Bakker and Martin Koch, both linked to the same deadly network. In the neighborhoods where he once ruled, people still whisper his name. Some fear him, some miss him, but everyone agrees. No one like Lucas Boom will ever exist again. Lucas lived fast, fought hard, and died violently. He never expected to grow old. In his world, death was part of the business, and he accepted it long before it came. His story is more than crime. It's about choices. The same loyalty that made Lucas respected also destroyed him. In the world of drugs and power, trust is always the first thing to die. Today's Dutch underworld is colder, more calculated, and more global. The days of men like Lucas, who fought for loyalty instead of money, are gone forever. He was called many things: a thug, an enforcer, a killer. But those who knew him best called him de rechterhand van Martha, Martha's right hand. And even though he's gone, the story of Lucas Boom remains one of the most feared and respected tales in Dutch criminal history.